Angela Yee. Happy Friday. And it's a great Friday indeed. I'm in Atlanta, and my special guest host for today is Tezlyn Figaro. What's up, Tez?
What's going on? So happy to be here. It's way up is up. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me, Angela.
Listen, and we know you for educating people on politics, but we're going to do everything today.
We're doing everything.
Okay.
Like, we're going to let it all hang out today.
Because there's a lot going on right now. And of course, you know, we start the show off with love and with positivity. 800-292-5150. Call us up when we come back. Let's shine a light. Anybody you want to spread some love to, today's the day to do it. Right now, it's way up.
We gon' light the block up. I'ma shine. I'ma shine.
Turn your lights on, y'all.
Turn your lights on.
Spreading love to those who are doing greatness.
Shine a light on them. Shine a light on them.
It's time to shine a light on them.
All right, it's way up with Angela Yee. I'm here with my special guest host today, Tezlyn Figaro. What's up, Tez?
What's going on? Thank you so much for having me.
I'm excited. And today we want to shine a light on somebody who actually just helped us out under pressure, and that is Ferrari Simmons. Now, you know him up here as a radio host, also as the host of the Baller Alert show as well, but he's been in this music business for quite a long time. And he's also worked not just on the radio, but also for a record label. Previously worked at Warner Records. You know him from also doing music as well. So shout out to Ferrari Simmons. Honestly, me and Tez came in here. We were like trying to set up the board. I'm in Atlanta, hanging out with Tez, and definitely always stays calm under pressure. He's got a book club. He talks to the kids all the time. He's a family guy. So I love people who can balance all of those things because it's not easy.
Shout out to him. Thank you so much, Ferrari, for hooking us up.
All right. Now, Chris, who do you want to shine a light on?
I want to shine the light on my beautiful wife. She's an amazing wife, amazing mother. And then today is I want to wish her a happy 49th birthday, and I'm blessed to have her.
What's her name?
Oh, her name is Marie.
Marie. All right. Well, congratulations on you two. How long have y'all been married, you said?
13 years.
That's my lucky number. Okay. I love it. What would you say was the hardest year?
I don't ever remember it being really hard.
Okay. They always talk about the 7-year itch.
We just love on each other.
Here's to a lifetime together for Cedric and Marie from Springfield, Mass. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
All right, well, that was Shine a Light, 800-292-5150. If you couldn't get through, leave a message. You can shine a light for last word. And you know what? Since Tezlyn Figaro is guest hosting today, when we come back with Yeeti, let's go right in. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's talk about Dion Sanders. He says he's never masturbated in his whole life.
Girl, knock it off.
We'll talk about it. Yeah, hey, Dion, knock it off. It's way up.
They say it's truth in the rumors.
From industry shade to all the gossip, Angela's spilling that Yeeti.
It's way up with Angela Yee, and I'm here with my girl Tezlyn Figaro, guest hosting today in the A.
In the building.
All right, let's talk about some things,
Yes.
Tez. So Dion Sanders on his We Got Time Today podcast that he has with Roxy Diaz was talking to the host of Decisions, Mandy and Weezy, and admitted that he has never in his life pleased himself. Here's what he said.
I've never in my life pleasure.
In your life.
Never in my life.
Oh,
God is my witness.
I'm so
In
confused.
Jesus' name. My next statement don't sound arrogant.
What is it?
I never had.
Tez, you are saying what about this?
Flag on the play. Flag on the play. Dion, don't nobody believe you. First of all, that includes preteen. Maybe they should have framed it right. Preteen, teenager, and too bad for him.
Right.
Masturbation's a great thing.
Great way to go to sleep.
Great way to go to improve. I'm so glad you said that. Stress relief, prevents prostate cancer, mood improvement, fights depression, have better sex. So it's unfortunate. I think masturbation is critically important.
It's funny that he said he never had to, because most
Right.
people, like, you don't have to.
Right.
You just do it because you're there, your hand's there.
Yeah, it's not about accessibility, Dion. It's about making sure, especially for women, because we want to make sure you get it right. We know exactly what our spot is. Nobody believes him, Dion, but whatever, we'll go with it. But knock it off.
But maybe
Literally.
he hasn't. Who knows? I don't want to.
Come on, let's be for real.
I don't want to masturbation.
Even
shame
as
him.
a kid,
maybe
we should masturbation shame him, though. We should absolutely masturbate
take a course.
shame him.
Okay.
We have to promote masturbation. It's critically important.
Right. You got to throw the pass to yourself sometimes.
That's right.
All right, now Tracie Ellis, we're speaking about relationships and self-love. She was on the IMO podcast. That's Michelle Obama and her brother Craig Robinson. And she was talking about the fact that she has no kids and she's not married. And I believe when she says, because I agree with this, you don't want to be with the wrong person. Right? That's an important thing too. But here's what she said.
And, as much as grief does surface for me around not having children and not having a partner, I still wouldn't want the wrong partner. I'm not interested in that. You have to make my life better. It can't just be, I'm in a relationship to be in a relationship. So even though the grief does emerge and that comes and I hold that, I don't know. Sometimes I think of all of the things I've done, the courage that I've had to have and what I've had to learn how to navigate as a single person with no one to hide behind.
Listen, why are you looking like that?
I'm just looking.
She also said she doesn't like dating apps.
Yeah. Well, I think she's being honest around her grief with maybe, sometimes from time to time saying, I wish I would have did that. But I appreciate her just standing in her singleness. Now, the comment that she just made about hiding behind somebody married, I've never hid behind my husband, but I understand, what she's saying. But I respect that. I think it's really important that we stop shaming people who decide they don't want to be married and have kids. It's not for everybody. I was married, I had a kid, but I feel people who say that's not necessarily the route that I want to take just to say that I'm married. So I respect
Sometimes
it.
people are in relationships just for the sake of being in one.
Invisible marriages, by the way.
And the other thing she talked about is why she likes younger men.
I know that's right.
A lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or prize or I have no interest in it.
Okay, well, I'm not mad at that. All the ladies I feel like are dating younger men
Well,
now.
she left something off the list, though.
What?
She didn't talk about how they be putting it down. I went and I tried to scroll through and find, I'm the host of Straight Shot No Chaser podcast, so I want to be able to, let's really talk about it. I get the toxic masculinity, but what about the stamina? Is she not talking about that, or she...
And they go 2 or 3 times.
Right.
All right. Well, that is your Yeeti. When we come back about last night, Tez, you've been traveling. We're going to talk about it. I'll talk about what I did here in Atlanta last night. It's way up.
So, about last night. Here's how it went down.
All right, it's Way Up with Angela Yee, and I'm here with my guest host for today, Miss Tezlyn Figaro. Welcome
in the building
to the show in Atlanta, Way Up with Angela Yee. Now, what did you do last night? I know you've been traveling, and we've been trying to coordinate. Ran into you in New York. Next thing I know, you in another city. Now you in Atlanta.
Well, they said you was going to get in my business today, so I came prepared. I did what I did last night. I went miniature golfing. It's nothing too, nothing too crazy, but had a really good time. It's really important, Angela, for the work that I do to be able to have something to kind of relax.
Yes, swing a stick.
Yes, literally. Yeah.
It's important. And hit a ball.
We keep going back. 2 balls to be exact. I had 2 balls in my hand. So miniature golf, really relaxing. Had a good time. That seems like not a big deal, but it's a big deal to me, just to relieve the stress. And went to the strip club, by the way, too.
You did? What strip club?
Strip club in Detroit. I can't remember the name, but I love the strip club.
Did you get lamb chops? I know that's popular.
I got wings.
Okay, you got wings.
But lamb chops are very popular. Shout out to T.I. and his lamb chops at Tracie City. Lamb chops are very popular in Atlanta. But I believe in the strip club as well.
Yes. And Detroit, they are known for also having amazing chefs in the strip club. That's a thing.
Yeah, I can't remember. I had to get the name of the strip club. I can't remember. I was there, literally. They told me you was going to be a mess.
Yeah. Well, listen, Detroit, this is a big deal for me in Detroit today in particular. So I've been working on this building in Midtown. Today's the day people move in. So we're starting to lease out the units. So people who pre-lease get to move in today. And so now we're showing the units. It's 30 units in there. And we have a portion set aside, courtesy of Topeka Sam, for women who are just as impacted.
Oh, shout out to Topeka. She used to be with
Ladies of Hope Ministry.
Yes. And the name of the organization she used to be with Meek Mill's organization.
Oh, why are we both forgetting the Reform Alliance?
Yes. Okay. Reform. Shout out to her.
All right. But yesterday I'm here in Atlanta, and I was actually doing an event with JP Morgan Wealth Management. And so that was great. It's a room full of people who are, either they're clients or they're also just entrepreneurs, anybody that wants to learn more about how to invest for your future. Because one of my main things, I'm on the path to making sure that I can retire comfortably.
I know that's right.
And I want to make sure I have all of the tools necessary, but also make sure that we're all thinking about that. So I just want to thank them. Thank you, Vanita, for putting me on that. It was a Building a New Legacy event. I have another one I'm doing in Miami. So just a nice room to be in.
That's not enough tea, though. What else did you do last night?
That's really what I did. Then I went out to eat with Jennifer Williams
Okay,
and her
okay,
husband Christian.
okay.
And my girl Janae. We went and got some Thai food at 9.
Okay.
I did get to see his tattoo of Jennifer's face close up.
Oh, wow.
That he
Okay.
has on the back of his head. And she has a tattoo also. It ain't his face, but she's got his name
Would
on her
you do
finger.
it?
I don't have no tattoos.
Oh, none at all?
None, not
Oh,
a
wow.
one. Not a one.
Okay, I got 6.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
No chaser. Okay. Well, when we come back, tell us a secret. 800-292-5150. Maybe you have some tattoos that nobody knows about, or you're lying about the meaning of the name of the tattoo. 800-292-5150. It's a no judgment zone. It's me and Tezlyn. How could we judge you? She was in the strip club last night and swinging sticks. And I was...
What up, though, Detroit?
Yes, and we outside, y'all.
We
I do
outside.
lip service, period. 800-292-5150. It's a no judgment zone. You are anonymous. Call us up. Tell us a secret.
This is a judgment-free zone. Tell us a secret.
All right, it's Way Up with Angela Yee, and Tezlyn Figaro is here.
In the building.
I know you all for the secrets, girl.
I am for the secrets. I'm in politics. I love secrets.
Oh, we love it. All right, 800-292-5150. Call us up. Tell us a secret. It's a no judgment zone. You are anonymous. What's up, anonymous caller?
I'm good. How are you, Miss Lady?
I'm good. It's me and Tezlyn. We want to hear your secret.
So my secret is I have a tattoo of my ex's name on my forearm, and for as long as I can remember, every day I write Junior in black ink under it, so my son thinks that the tattoo is for him.
Oh, my gosh. So you literally write Junior on your arm every day?
Yeah, I'm literally going to have to go get it tatted at this point because it's getting ridiculous. It's been years.
Why don't you want to just tell him?
I don't know. I'm like, I never wrote a man's name on my body. Mm-hmm. And we literally split up a couple months after being together for 10 years after I tatted his name. So I've just always told my son it was for him. One of my daughters, my older daughters was like, one of my older daughters was like, Mom, just put Junior on it. And I got stuck doing it. I can't take it off because if I wear long sleeves, obviously I don't bother. But if I'm around the house, I always have it there.
Are you going to get it covered up?
I don't think I'll get it covered because I feel like he was a big part of my life regardless.
Okay.
But I think I'm definitely going to put Junior. We have 4 kids together, so
right.
I feel like that was a big part of my life,
Does he have you on him?
Absolutely not, but he cheated on me and got her name on his body, which is why he is my ex.
Okay.
Hey, you still don't want to cover it up.
Yeah, no, she gonna slap Junior under there. Well, thank goodness your son got the same name. I do want to say, if I was your other kids, though, I'd be like, now, where's my name?
Right, feeling away.
No, you gotta
I
get
got
all the
8
kids.
and 4. I have 8 and 4 with him, so that would be a lot of names.
Listen, you got
I want to
space.
do a family tree on my body. Yeah.
Yeah, put a family tree, put everybody's name on the tree.
Right.
It's a lot.
I'm going to have to.
All right, well, thank you for calling.
All right, you guys take care.
You
Peace.
too. Hey, anonymous caller, how are you?
I'm good. About yourself?
I'm good. It's me and Tezlyn. It's a no judgment zone, so we want to hear your secret.
Okay, so I've been with my fiance for like 2 years, and I had relations with her boss. I slept with her boss, but this was not when we was together. This was several years ago.
Oh, okay. So
And
she doesn't
I feel
know,
like-
and then
No. But and the only reason I found out is because I had to pick her up from work, and I seen her, she seen me, and I'm hearing all these stories about how she don't like her. So now it's like, do I say something? It was the past. Is it going to bring up, friction between us? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that situation, so I just kept it to myself.
that's a good question, Tez.
Yeah, I would tell.
You would
say,
tell.
yes,
But
in the
it
past.
also kind of feels like he should have said something right away if he was
Right.
going to tell, because now you kind of waited. But because what if the boss tells her one day?
Exactly.
I understand it, but it was like, I'm hearing all this friction that she have with her, and it's like, damn, I seen her, so it's like, do I say something? Do I not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you don't want the friction to be between
It's not like I
y'all,
was
'cause
keeping it from her.
Yeah, but now you don't want the friction to be
I
between
bet-
you
I
if you
mean,
don't tell her.
I feel him though, because that might be something that every time she look at him, she be annoyed.
I don't know. I want to know. If I'm ever in the
And
room
then
with
it's
anybody,
like, but it was the past, though. It's not like this was something that was
He
going
didn't
on
cheat
when we
or
was
nothing.
together.
oh yeah, no, that's an
Yeah.
even more reason
No,
why you should tell.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, I never in my relationships. I never want to be the
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah, that's tough, but you got to figure it out. We not here to judge.
No
got it.
judging. You
All
want to
right.
hit again? No, can I ask you that?
Oh,
No. That was,
He
that
was
was
like,
the
"Don't
past.
play."
I love my future wife. I'm with her. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
she
good.
she do everything that she's supposed to do, and that's why I want to marry her.
All right, thank you. All right, well, that was Tell Us a Secret, 800-292-5150. If you couldn't get through, you could leave a message for last word. And when we come back, me and Tezlyn are going to be doing Yeeti. We'll be talking about Diddy versus Cassie. We'll tell you what Diddy's trying to access, what Cassie doesn't want him to access, and what Diddy wants to exclude from this trial. It's a lot going on. It's way up.
Yo, she about to blow the lid up off this pot.
Let's get it.
Oh, yeah. Angela's spilling that Yeeti.
Come and get the tea.
Let me turn my mic on. What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here with Tezlyn Figaro. I'm in Atlanta. I got to turn my own mics on.
What's happening?
I'm spoiled. I'm not used to doing that. Let's get into this Yeeti. So Cassie is asking the court to block Diddy's subpoena. Diddy wants to get a copy of her personal financial records, but also her memoir drafts that she has. You remember she was putting this book out, diaries, journals, notes, any of those things, any communications about plans to publish or threaten to publish such a document. They want to get that information too. Mm-hmm. So Cassie does not want that to happen. She thinks the court should dismiss that entirely. Mm-hmm. Why would he need that? I know you're about to go to law school.
Yeah. Well, shout out to the work that I do with Attorney Benjamin Crump, Black America's Attorney General. But of course, it's important that both sides get all the evidence. You know, I know people don't like it, but any attorney worth anything is going to ask to get everything dismissed, ask that everything be put on the table. I certainly want to know, you know, what they're trying to submit, what evidence, and if it's biased, if it's not, you know, if it's accurate, if it's not. So that's, you know, your typical thing that any attorney would do that makes any sense. I get it.
Okay, and you know, this is all after Diddy's attorney has alleged that Cassie had offered to sell the rights to a book she had written about their relationship for $30 million to prevent its publication. Mm-hmm. That's what the allegation is. We don't know whether or not that's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't know a lot of what's true until we actually see the case. I'm looking forward to the actual trial. You know, there's been so much information in the blogs. What's the evidence? What's not the evidence? What are they really charging him with? Is it the physical altercation that we all saw on the tape, or is it the sex trafficking, the consent, the not consent? So I think the trial starts in May, Angela, and so we'll be able to it's going to be interesting. Also, we get cameras in the courtroom, so I'm just interested to see how all that plays out.
You know, it's interesting because he is asking for a 2-month delay. Mm-hmm. So we'll see if they're granted that. But he's pleading not guilty to 5 federal counts. That includes racketeering, sex trafficking. So again, that is supposed to start next month. We'll see what happens if this delay is granted. But Diddy's team is also trying to make sure that they don't show that video in the hotel where you can see that he's brutally beating her. He wants that to be excluded from evidence ahead of his trial. And that's because he said that was tampered with. They said it was altered, manipulated, sped up, and edited to be out of sequence.
Mm-hmm. Well, and whether it was sped up or slowed down, like we saw what we saw. But the question really comes to, are they putting him, charging him with his domestic violence or for the racketeering and the prostitution and all of that stuff? So what is the actual charge? And that still, to me, was unclear. Very similar with the O.J. Simpson case that I watch religiously. You know, is it about domestic violence? Was it about domestic violence with O.J. Simpson, which could be a motive to murder? Or is it about the murders? So anytime you have domestic violence that's put in the mix, especially with the tape, automatically people that come sit in the jury say, I've seen it. So they're going to come in with the bias. So how do you get that bias out? How do you actually look at the evidence? And so that's the stuff that we don't know yet. And from what we hear on the blogs and the evidence that we've seen, it's really more about his
the sex trafficking,
so,
the minors,
right, which is totally different than what was going on with Cassie.
Non-consensual,
right. So all of those things, when they all come together, we're gonna have to see how it plays out,
right? And they may be showing these tapes also as part of that. And Diddy's side feels like the tapes will be helpful. But the prosecutors feel, we don't know what's on the tape.
On the tapes, the sex tapes.
Yeah, because on Diddy's behalf, they feel like, well, this is going to show consensual sex between adults. It may be a quote-unquote freak-off, but everybody was actively okay with it. But I think the prosecutors are looking at it as like, you'll see that people were not willing participants. We don't know until
we don't know. Yeah. And then somebody could always say, well, I was on the tape, but I still felt forced to. I didn't have a choice. And that's where it's
harder to prove that.
Yeah, that's where stuff kind of gets real muddy. So we'll see. I know they got a lot of tapes. That we know. A lot of tapes and a lot of baby girls.
We're going to see. All right. Well, that is your Yeeti. And thank you for that breakdown, Tezlyn. That's why we love having you here. And when we come back, we have our Under the Radar stories. These are the stories that are not necessarily in the headlines. They're flying under the radar, but you need to know about them. Do you have a Birkin bag?
I do not. Girl,
Neither do I.
I don't have no bags.
Okay.
Ross dressed for less for me. Shout out to Ross.
Well, we are going to talk about what's happening and what Hermes is saying they're planning to do because of these tariffs.
Yeah, they
And
say
how
they're
is
giving
that-
it away. Maybe this will be my chance to finally get a bag.
Ooh, it's not looking that way. We'll talk about
Okay.
it. Mine either. It's way up.
I got news. This in the news that relates to you. These stories are flying under the radar.
All right, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here. Tezlyn Figaro is here, guest hosting with me.
In the building.
In the building. And let's get to these under the radar stories now. I asked you if you had an Hermes bag. You don't, neither do I.
And won't.
And won't, because now with these tariffs, they're saying, and this is one tariff I can't be mad at. These tariffs are going to be 100% placed on us here. So if the tariffs affect them and the price point and whatever, those costs are getting passed on to
All
the
of them
buyers of the Hermes bags here.
Yeah, all of them are. It's really important that people understand how this works. I mean, 2 + 2 will always still equal 4.
Yeah.
So you can pretty much assume that anything that goes up, the cost is going to be passed to the consumer.
Yeah, it's hard. And, you know, they're talking about Trump's tariffs. They're saying this is an expensive, exclusive luxury brand. So people can afford it, I guess. If you want to buy a Hermes bag and it's that important to you and the tariffs are, I don't even know what the price point is now. Say it's 45%. Who knows? You are going to have to pay that if you want to get one.
Well, yeah, if somebody's talking, how much do they cost? Because I don't know, because I wish I would. But
I think
what,
they started like
20,000,
10,000.
20,000. So, yeah, if you're talking about, if you're willing to spend it on a bag, okay, no big deal. Those are not the tariffs I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about the tariffs that are happening with food products, with fruit that we're getting from Mexico, with steel, with aluminum, like all of the things that everyday average people need. Lumber, all of that stuff. That's a big deal, Angela. I have a house that I need to correct the roof. And so now roofing products, are 50% more. So that's the stuff I'm concerned about as far as these bags and expensive stuff. I mean, if you got it like that. But more attention needs to be focused on what's going to affect the average.
Although they
everyday
did
person.
say that Shein is going up too.
Girl, when the Shein go up, we're going to have a problem. I'm saying that right now. They said that the shipping, they said that's a real issue.
That's a real
I
thing.
covered that at Revolt because, hey, I am a Fashion Nova Shein all day, every day. And they said the shipping going to be slowed down. They said that the pricing going to go up. And that's what we're going to start a protest.
Forget this Hermes right
Yeah,
now.
exactly. Let's talk about that Shein. But why you don't have a bag? I would have thought you had a bag. You got it like that.
I don't, you know what? I just never really wanted one.
You never bothered.
Style-wise, it's not my thing.
Okay.
But you
do have an expensive bag.
I like Chanel. And
Okay.
I like, but I ain't buying nothing right now. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, my money is going into different things, investments. And lastly, I just want to talk about Luigi Mangione. We all know him for USA, the healthcare worker that he gunned down, the executive, right? And so now they're saying that he is eligible for the death penalty. And so it looks like that's what they're pushing for, too.
Yeah, I mean, he did murder somebody in cold blood. So, it makes sense. Even though this is one of those situations where people kind of support what he did. It's unfortunate, but it's just a real thing. People are really upset about healthcare.
Yeah.
So this is one of those vigilante type, people that support the villain, if you will. Has a lot of support online. People saying, I get it. People are tired of protesting. People are tired of begging for Medicare for all. And they saw as what he did is kind of important. I mean, I don't condone it, as myself, but this is going to be an interesting case to follow as well. But certainly,
I mean, he's got almost $1 million raised in his fund. But he was, the United Healthcare chief, Brian Thompson, was killed at the Hilton in Midtown Manhattan. And now Luigi Mangione they returned a 4-count indictment yesterday against him, charges him with 2 counts of stalking, firearms offense, and murder through the use of a firearm. So he is eligible for the death penalty if convicted. All right, well, that is your Under the Radar. Now, we have the Way Up Mix at the top of the hour. And since Tezlyn is here for the first time guest hosting with me, we are also going to have a great conversation with you about what's going on. I was having some off the air conversations about the program that you have and the school that you have that I am fascinated by, because I was telling you there's panels that I've done where people have talked about how to actually be involved in running for office or being an activist or just supporting someone who's running for office. So we're going to talk about that with you if that's okay when we come back.
Absolutely.
It's a Friday. We got the Way Up Mix at the top of the hour.
Way up.
Just like to talk like they Angela Yee,
Man, she's spilling it all. This is Yeeti. Way up.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here with my Friday guest host, Tezlyn Figaro. Ooh, let me put our mics on. Okay, there we go. Look, I told you I'm not used to having to do this manually myself.
All this manual labor.
And let's get into this Yeeti, but also get ready for the next hilarious PayPal campaign that's happening with Will Ferrell singing his rendition of Fleetwood Mac's You Can Go Your Own Way. That's how, in a bathtub. I sing terribly, but I still do it. But you can check out the teaser tonight and the commercial during basketball games this weekend. Now let's talk about Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and his remarks this week. He talked about how autism destroys children and doesn't allow them to be able to do a lot of different things, like hold a job, write a poem, play baseball, go on a date, all of those things. And Holly Robinson Pete is chiming in. This is something she's passionate about because her son was diagnosed with autism at 3 years old, is now 27 years old. And here's what that sounded like.
Autism is not a disease. It is a disorder. And it is important to get that right if you are the Secretary of Health and Human Services. So that off the top really triggered me. When our son was diagnosed in 2000 at 3 years old, we called it the never day. Why? Because this developmental pediatrician rolled out a laundry list of nevers that RJ would never do, never be, never have, never achieve. She said he would never have friends, never say I love you, never play team sports. When the Secretary of Health and Human Services just ran off another never list, it triggered me in ways I can't even describe.
Wow. I mean, well said. And that's from somebody who has been dealing with this and been an advocate for so long.
The best people that we find in politics, Angela, are those who are triggered by personal experience. People who have actually been affected by something are usually your best activists. One of the training that we'll talk about in a little bit, the training that I do is how to be an activist or an organizer. So shout out to Holly for continuing to push the message about autism, making sure that people understand it, and that personal experience is going to keep her motivated. And he misspoke. He tried to clean it up, and say that wasn't what he was talking about. But you need to be clear.
Right.
When you are jumping out here on this microphone and saying whatever you want to say and, basically stigmatizing a group who's already stigmatized, you need to be clear, about that messaging.
And, he also made these remarks at a news conference on Wednesday. He was talking about new data from the CDC that showed autism diagnosis among children in the U.S. have continued to rise. But what people have said is that is because it's actually broadened criteria, increased awareness, better screening. So it's not that it's something that's necessarily rising. It's just being diagnosed more.
And there's always going to be some back and forth about that. We see that as well with ADHD. With 20 years ago, people weren't calling it ADHD. Just like, oh, you just got a kid that just can't sit down. So that could be argued on both sides of the argument, on both sides of the issue. Is it just more diagnosis, or is there an uprising in it? I'm here for the research to find out either or. Either or, if it's getting us to the solution of the problem and reducing it, I'm here for it. The issue is, though, we have to be accurate with our information. We have to make sure that we're not putting out misinformation and stigmatizing, and I think that's the overall issue that Holly has.
And it's also interesting, there's higher rates of autism among Black, Hispanic, and Asian American children than among white children.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it really is, or if they're being diagnosed more and being told that more. Well, or if it's in the foods that we're eating, because that's also a conversation.
Yeah, well, it's called environmental racism. I mean, it is a real thing. When we talk about the Flint water crisis, just to give an example, on that water and those chemicals, and how does that affect, Black and brown children, it's a real thing. When we talk about cancer,
fibroids for Black women.
Absolutely. When we talk about cancer and people who are exposed to areas that are that have toxic fumes that you're not going to see in certain communities. So it's a real thing. It's a real issue for those who are interested in environmental racism. I encourage you to look it up. It's not a made up ideology. It's a real thing. So I think he's making a point with that. However, what is the issue that we're talking about, and what is the solution? Even when we talk about fast food restaurants, when we have food deserts in communities that are disenfranchised and they're having to eat more fast food, how is that being connected to cancer? So those are all real things, you know, that we push for.
Our hair products, relaxers.
All of that.
Okay. Yep. And lastly, I just want to give an update on Diddy. He was trying to get his trial delayed by 2 months. Well, a federal judge today denied that request. They were trying to have more time to prepare their defense, but the jury selection in the trial will begin on May 5th as scheduled. So that is still going to continue. All right. And that is your Yeeti. And when we come back, it is a Friday. So you know what happens on Fridays. New music comes out. Tez, we're going to find out what you're listening to, but we're going to let the people know what should you be listening to this weekend. What should you be listening to today? We'll tell you what's coming out. It's way up.
Whether it's relationship or career advice, Angela's dropping facts.
So you should know.
This is Ask Yee
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here with my girl, Tezlyn Figaro. What's up?
In the building.
And today on Ask Yee, we have a voicemail from somebody who wanted some advice. So let's play the voicemail.
Hey, Angela. My name is Danielle. I just bought a house, and I live with my boyfriend, and he's 24. So our house is to keep it cute, our house is 2 levels, and he wants the whole top level. And I'm like, no, because this is the house my dad left me. So I want at least a room and a guest room on the top level, and he wants the whole top level. So anyway, how do I tell him respectfully that that's not going to happen? You're not going to have the whole top level. Anyway, thank you. Bye.
All right. Well, Tezlyn, gotta see what you think. One thing that was confusing, she said she bought a house, but then she said her dad left her the house.
Yeah. And then she also said he was 24. And so that tells me something going on there with the age. But what's your thought? I know I got my opinion.
Okay. Well, my thought is this. If this is your home and it's only 2 levels, I'm not going to say the whole top level should go to any one person. You definitely need a guest room because when people are coming over, that always does happen. You always need a place to stay. And I have a guest room that also doubles as a study. So I think that could be a space where if someone needs to come, there's a bed in there, but then also you could have your things in there as well. I say he should have a section. Y'all both should.
Yeah.
Well, y'all both should have a space that's your own.
Yeah. But I think it's deeper than that. If he's asking for the entire top level,
crazy.
I'm wondering if he really want to live with you, sis. I mean, for real. I mean, let's just be honest.
He want to have his own company.
Yeah, he really just kind of sound like he just he wants the separation. Or if you are, if you believe in non-traditional style relationships, which I do, he may just say, I like my space.
Get an apartment.
Yeah, well, but if they going in half on the bills, the tariffs are coming, y'all. So if they going half in on the bills and it's cheaper to live with each other, that might be it. But I think this is not about, do I want a guest room or not a guest room? This sounds like somebody that really may not be ready to live with a woman, which is okay if that works for you.
Yeah, I think that, well, first of all, it sounds like there's no option here. She's telling him no. She just wants to know how.
It's called saying no.
Yeah. So she wants to be like, that can't happen. But I also understand compromise.
Yeah.
And so maybe there's a way that he can have a space that's his. It's just not going to be a whole floor.
Yeah, but I think she need to get into why, though.
Yeah.
You need to get into the why.
A whole floor is wild.
Yeah, well, that says a lot. The why really matters, Angela. It's not about let's just compromise and you just get a separate room. We really need to get into the why are you even asking.
Why do you need a whole floor
Because
to
the
yourself?
why is not going to go away. You can compromise, but if the why is still under there, and why do you even want that? Do you even like being around me for real?
Right.
That's what sis needs to kind of focus on first before you get to the solution.
Because next thing he gonna have girls coming over. Well, this is my space. I can do what I want.
Right. Or maybe I just don't want to live with you. I mean, no, respectfully, I'm just saying, understand the why. Most people are not asking to split an entire house with you. I think that's what's the most important thing.
All right. Well, look, regardless, it ain't happening.
I'm cool with it though, just so you know. I actually would.
You would do it? Hey, take the floor.
Absolutely, yeah. Just go upstairs. We can get you a way that you can go out on the back end. We don't have to see each other. We can meet up in the middle of the week. I'm with it.
You like Oprah and Stedman?
Yeah, Oprah and Stedman all the way. I'm with it. It works.
Okay. Well, that is your Ask Yee. Look, she's advocating for him.
I'm advocating for him, sis.
And that was brought to you by Saucony, a.k.a. Saucony.com. Go online and go make your purchases. I always tell you how much I love athleisure, but I love athletic wear that is also things that are useful, like Saucony. And I'm starting my run club again. So Saucony.com, we appreciate you. And it's not Saucony. And when we come back, Tezlyn, since you're here, I do want to talk about everything that you have going on. I like hearing you in the space of, because we know you from being very active and being able to break things down that's going on in the news and politics and all of that. We know you also from working with the amazing Ben Crump. We know that you're going to law school, but I want to get more into Tezlyn and what's going on today with you. So we'll do that when we come back, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
They told you I was going to get in your business.
You did get in my business.
All right.
Let's go a little bit deeper.
Yeah, what's happening?
You wanna know my name?
Way Up with Angela Yee.
Turn me on.
What's up is Way Up with Angela Yee, and as promised, my guest co-host for the day, Tezlyn Figaro, is here.
In the building.
And I want to make sure that we dig into some more of what you have going on, because I'm always so impressed by you.
Oh, thank you.
And so I want to talk about this training that you have, Push the Line training. So can you tell us what that is? Because we talked about it off air, but I want to make sure people understand.
Yeah, thank you so much again for having me, Angela. I'm truly, truly appreciative. Push the Line is politics until something happens. My job as your curator, your founder of the Push the Line nonpartisan political training program is to help you find that something That something may be something like we talked about earlier with Holly Robinson Pete, talking about autism, how she advocates for her son. That's called being an activist. You may want to be an organizer, which is actually getting people in the room like we did a couple of weeks ago at my brother Killer Mike's restaurant, Bankhead Seafood. We're getting close to 200 people in the room to actually organize. Or you may want to run for office. We call that a candidate or a campaign worker. You may want to actually work on a campaign, be a campaign manager, a volunteer coordinator. All of those different positions have a role to play. What I have found by all of the experience that I've had over 20 years experience working local races, being a candidate myself, working state, working federal, being Bernie Sanders racial justice director in 2015. I was the only black person on the ground that flipped Michigan when he beat Hillary Clinton in that primary. Yes, ma'am. So all of the experience that I've learned from crisis management with Attorney Crump, from running my own business with 300 employees in Orlando, and going to the top training programs in the country, Congressional Black Caucus, Yale School for Women, Yale Law School, which is campaign school for women, Go Run Lead, you name it. I've been a part of the training, but I've always found that the training didn't necessarily speak to me. Right. I always found myself kind of feeling like, is this realistic for me and my community? How do I really know the real deal on what I need to do? And right now, Angela, people just want to know what are the solutions. They know what they're upset about. They know what needs to be fixed. They know they're upset about current administration, whether you rock with it, don't rock with it. But what we're finding is a lack of actually knowing what to do. In 2022, we had 300 people that came from all over the country to attend this training from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. They stood in the rain, 300 people. And so what I've decided to do is put that training online. It's curated by me. I wrote the curriculum. I have a master's in adult education. I say that because I'm not just talking about curriculum. I've actually wrote it, making sure that we have objections, making sure that all those things are met. I'm your trainer. And so we just want to make sure that people have the tools to know what to do.
I think that's important because a lot of people feel helpless and feel like, well, we have nothing to do with this. If I don't have money, if I don't have this, I don't have X, Y, and Z, then what difference does it make? People aren't listening to me, especially right now. People are really feeling that. And I know you also stress the importance of local politics.
Absolutely. That's absolutely the most important thing you can do. Local politics, state politics, even congressional, Congress positions, they're still local, even though they're federal and they're working on federal issues. You're still only talking about a couple 100,000 people at best. But we're so fascinated with federal. I want to be Congresswoman such and such. One of the trainings I'm going to do is how these candidates crash out. The 10 ways to not crash out. Ooh. Yeah, my training is different, y'all.
It feels different already.
It's real different. Like just the name of it, period. The first one, We Are Soldiers. The second course is Ambition of a Rider. I'm talking about how to build a community coalition. You're not going to find that in any of these other trainings.
Absolutely not.
Thinking of a master plan. Stand on business. What it means to really stand on business, and then show me my opponent.
And I want to say, if y'all are loving this
or not loving it,
and you want to watch, because people like to watch that too.
Yeah.
When they don't like something. But if you're loving this and you want to hear more from Tezlyn, we can watch you on Revolt. You also have your podcast. So Can you just plug all of those things?
Please.
Too?
Thank you so much. I'm the chief political correspondent for Revolt Black News. Also the senior producer. So weekly we do a show. I give you my commentary. I give you my take, which is very similar to this. And then the host of Straight Shot No Chaser on Black Effect Podcast Network. iHeart Family in the building. And you get it just like this. Raw, uncut. It is what it is. I don't owe anybody anything. I'm nonpartisan. I don't have a debt to the Democrat Party or the Republican Party. I think we need particularly black people on all sides, independent, green, liberal, conservative, Democrat, you name it. We need us all in the game. We just need to know exactly what our role is.
And we have to be in the game.
The game, literally. You have to do something, even if it's just supporting somebody else.
Yeah.
You may not be the one on the microphone, but at least support somebody else. Like a comment, share, do something. I encourage everybody to visit www.tezlynfigaro.com and enroll in the training. Take a look at the free preview and see if it's something you want to get involved with.
All right, don't play with her. You
don't
heard that.
Don't play with me.
And when we come back, of course, this is a Friday and this is your show, so you have the last word.
Tap in and get your voice heard.
What the word is.
Here's the last word on Way Up with Angela Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and that is a wrap on a Friday. Tezlyn, thank you so much for guest co-hosting. This was fun.
Absolutely, very fun.
I love your energy in this room, in this space. So I know you wanted to give a shout out before we get out of here.
Yeah, I wanted to give a shout out. Let me give a quick shout out. We were talking about tattoos earlier, so I want to give a shout out, to Glenn Tattoo Man Page in Detroit. The sister called in. She wanted to get to know how to get her tattoos covered up. He's one of the best in the business. Okay. Also, look out for his OnlyFans that's coming out. He's going to have some, it's going to be some different type of tattooing.
Tez, you got an OnlyFans?
I do not have an OnlyFans.
People want to know.
I do not have an OnlyFans, but shout out to him. That's my baby in Detroit. I appreciate him. He brings a lot of balance to my life, so I wanted to give him a shout out as well.
Shout out to him.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that for me.
This is good. I like this. This is a good moment.
Do you like the soft side?
I like this.
I have a soft side.
I know that everything just got all giggly.
It got all giggly, and you're not going to go no further and ask no questions?
Nope. Check it out.
I'm cool with answering the questions. I'm cool with answering the questions.
We'll do it on lip service.
Okay. Oh, girl, you definitely got to have me on lip service.
Oh, absolutely. And definitely no chaser on there.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you guys, this is your show, so you have the last word. And happy 420.
Yo, what up, Angela? It's your boy, Omeezy, and I just want to shout out my brother, Lamar. Born and raised in West Philadelphia, where there's much crime, shooting on my block, bullets going through my house, to going to college, running track, and breaking his leg, and still becoming the first to graduate college and become a computer engineer, and moving all the way across the world to Arizona. True definition of perseverance. Shout out to my bro.
Hey, my name is Corey. I just want to shine a light on my mom because she worked real hard for me and my daddy. And my name is Corey Scott, and I'm 9 years old. Thank you.
Yeah, it's your boy Lovey from the Bronx. I just want to shout out to you and my wife Tez. My concern is, what are you ladies doing for your mental wealth? I'm holding Tez down out here. I know you got your husband, but what are you ladies doing as far as your mental health?
Going way up, turn up with Angela Yee.